Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast between Fenix and Slush here on Scrap Station. Fenix spawning at the 12 o'clock location as the blue Terran player, meanwhile Slush spawning as the red Zerg over here at the 3 o'clock position. Now, special thanks to Ox the Hunter for making a new background for me on my YouTube channel. If you have not checked it out already, go ahead and check it out, www.youtube.com/blizzshouter. Anyways, Scrap Station on this map only has 2 spawning locations like Blistering Sands, Jungle Basin, and some of the other maps in the 1v1 ladder pool, so both players know exactly where their opponent has spawned. We now see an Overlord making its way across the map into this direction over here, and we'll be able to quickly see what exactly Fenix is going for. Fenix has been opening up with a refinery before a barracks. And what this allows Fenix to do is, right as the barracks is completed, he will have 100 gas and 150 minerals in order to build a factory. So we'll see if he continues to do that, and yes, he is going to go for that build instead, trying to go for that early refinery and then getting a stronger tech advantage. A little bit interested to see if Slush would even consider trying to go for a 6-pool rush, but he is not going for a 6-pool rush, and that those Zerglings will not be able to run in and take advantage of this whole entire positioning here. So Fenix now getting up this 1 refinery will be able to transfer 2 additional SCVs over in just a moment, and then as those SCVs are in there, we now see a barracks being placed down. So what the Overlord is quickly trying to take a look at, hold on 1 second. Alright, coming back to the game, I'm going to go ahead and unpause it. We see Fenix now coming here with this refinery already up and this barracks now being completed. So Slush knows that he's going to be safe for quite some time to get this hatchery down in position and perhaps try to just continue to power drone. So we'll see if Fenix's early teching will be able to pull off into some sort of advantage, or will Slush be able to get such a strong economic growth in this early portion of this game and then simply be able to roll over with superior unit counts. However, Fenix will be able to get this factory up in just a second, perhaps down into this position here or even right in here, in order to create a nice wall-in effect. So we now see this factory coming into play, and no Marine being trained just quite yet, perhaps waiting for that orbital command to be built, and now in comes that orbital command. There will be a little bit behind economically speaking, as this Overlord now moves its way into the space here. Fenix needs to be training, now going for double gas. So wow, Fenix really going heavy hard in terms of trying to get a strong economic game. You do see that the SCV is now in the base, and he knows that because the spawning pool just got placed down, he does not have to worry about this early Marine. There is 1 Overlord in this position, however, the chances of the Marine being able to shoot down that Overlord are slim to none, and all this Marine will be able to do is just perhaps try to shoo this Overlord away. Overlord now trying to fly away, and now we finally see a starport coming in. So Fenix now getting a starport. We may see a tech lab even be thrown or be placed down by this barracks, and then with the tech lab over here on the barracks, what this will allow him to do is train Hellions off of the factory, and now going into a double starport. So Fenix now going into a double starport build. The key question will also be looking at Slush. Slush did not see the 2nd refinery. So without seeing the 2nd refinery, he does not know how heavy of a tech build that Fenix is currently going for. You now see that the tech lab is being placed down by this factory. Most likely you will see a swap in just a moment, and I'm a little curious as to what's going to be happening. Zerglings now trying to run up this ramp. Will it be enough? Are we going to see a swap, and is that swap going to let in those Zerglings? That's going to be a key question there. Will these 2 buildings be able to swap in time? Now they need to come back into position, and now those Zerglings trying to run up that ramp, and coming down just perfectly. Fenix really lucking out there on that fight. No Hellions being trained though, as we also see a tech lab being placed down here. We are going for double Banshees, and that means that we will not be getting the cloaking research. So no cloaking research. Now over here we see this hatchery is currently up and running, and we already see 1 queen in play, a 2nd queen in play with another queen being trained. So that means that we are going to have a very strong anti-air movement as 1 SCV now makes its way out across the map. Zerglings now running up that ramp as well. No Hellion being trained. So it is just going to be double Banshee. Will these double Banshees be able to deal significant damage, or are there going to be too many queens and spore crawlers? It looks like Slush is expecting this, and we'll see if this is really going to work out. Now turning off the hit points, as you can just continue to watch the game. Drones just mining back over here, and now taking a look. Zerglings and 1 Banshee now trying to rack up those kills. We'll be able to get a couple quick kills on some of those units. Those Zerglings moving very quickly, and at least almost double the speed of that Banshee. That Banshee moving relatively slow compared to those units there, and now just racking up more kills, getting a quick set of kills there. 3 kills and getting 75 minerals of losses. and now in comes one SCV in order to do more scouting. Scouting with an SCV will quickly see that there are spore crawlers and now a baneling nest. So spore crawlers with queens and banelings in the air, or sorry, spore crawlers against that anti-air. So these two banshees will not be able to deal all that much damage. However, those banshees are going to be a strong counter unit against those banelings. Banelings dying to 2 shots, and then or 1 shot from a banshee and 1 shot from a marine trying to kill that baneling before it gets within that splash distance against that marine. This front wall is very, very well secured. All of these buildings having a lot of hit points, as now we have some banshees making their way. So 3 banshees now trying to put in some pressure as that banshees are now just in the air getting a lot of damage done. Will those queens be able to do enough damage against those units? Perhaps enough damage. Back over here we see the spore crawler. Down goes 1 queen. So 1 queen now taking down another spore crawler. Will get shot down. No, not going to get shot down. Down to 42 hit points. The banshees, however, now deciding to back off. And 1 very, very low hit point banshee in this fight. 4 banshees in the air. Will it be enough to deal more damage? Trying to go after more of those units here. And now in comes another queen. 1 queen will be able to pick off a low hit point banshee. Now getting 1 round of attack. 1 round of attack dealing, what, 64 times 3, what, 72 points of damage. So that's really, really racking up that damage very quickly. So those banshees now dancing back and forth between these units. One queen now pushing out a little bit too far, as 2 banshees now coming back down over here. More spore crawlers coming into play. And now probably an additional queen. No more queens now being trained, as we now have 3 now pushing into here. Trying to take down the spire before the spire goes up. The spire will be able to start training Mutalisk, and those banshees will have a very, very difficult time. Now going after another, going after the spire. The spire already training up 2 Mutalisks, however. And now we see the hatchery, 1 queen go down by these banshees. Banshees able to deal a lot of damage. Trying to take down that key tech. The spire does take a lot of time to build, so it takes a significant amount of time, down to losing 100 game seconds in order to replace that spire. However, 3 Mutalisks will be coming out in just a moment, and those Mutalisks will be able to finish off that banshee, especially with that faster movement speed. So 1 banshee has been taken down once again by these Mutalisks. Another banshee trying to barely escape, down to 17 hit points. So as this game now moves into the mid game, we now see Slush with Zerglings and Banelings with 2 Mutalisks in the air, and now we see, interestingly enough, a Raven with a Thor being trained. So I'm a little curious as to how Fenix is actually sitting on that much gas. I believe he must have canceled one of his Banshees in order to be able to train a Raven and a Thor at the same time. And now there's 1 Thor. That Thor, however, walking away. There is 1 missile turret here, very, very well positioned, making it difficult for these Mutalisks to even get any damage off. We do also see 1 group of Zerglings now trying to run down. That Thor getting a couple quick kills there. And now 1 Banshee, very low on hit points, may get shot down very quickly. They're now going after the spawning pool. So that spawning pool has 100 hit points. However, one drone has been taken down. A second drone able to barely survive as Mutalisks come in to try to save the day. An army of Zerglings now trying to move back again. And now we have 2 Thors in play. So 2 Thors currently in play. Also 1 SCV repairing it. And now will Fenix be going for Marines and Thors, or perhaps even Hellions and Thors? So Hellions and Thors, obviously a very, very strong combination there. We do see a couple of Thors in this position now. It looked as though a couple of Banelings were trying to walk up into this location here. And now we see some Thors. Those Thors, will they be able to, position themselves over here against the side? Banelings simply just going to try to suicide themselves into this location here, trying to split up and try to separate that damage even further. And now more units getting taken down. And now very nicely done by Fenix. Fenix saving somehow both of his Thors. 1 Thor now down to 16 hit points. A little bit of a micro mismanagement there. That Thor needs to get into the cover of that one. Oh, very nice pickup there, a hot pickup. And now that bunker able to protect even more and more damage. Another auto turret now being placed down. Auto turret is a structure, so it will burn down, however. And now SCV's down over here. SCV's repairing this Thor, but a very nice hot pickup onto that Thor to save that Thor from those Zerglings. Once again, nicely done. Root Slush now getting more Banelings down over here, in addition to a couple Mutalisks in the air. Army-wise, you see Slush with a stronger army, sitting at 1350 compared to 700. And income-wise, however, you see Fenix sitting on 46 Harvesters compared to 31. So Slush needs to make something happen with these units, and will he be able to production-wise? 6 more Zerglings coming in. Marines now trying to come in as well. And we also see 1 Thor trying to hold on to this position. However, Baneling simply walking over that bunker. Zerglings simply able to swarm once again, and now out comes another Thor, and a Baneling now once again taking down more and more Thors. Will this be enough? More SCVs trying to repair over here. Nicely done. And Fenix using these Thors very, very effectively in order to try to save his base. So only 2 Thors able to hold off a lot of Zerglings so far. A lot of SCVs also constantly repairing these units. And you got to remember that these Thors only currently have 1 armor. So somehow these 1 armor Thors are able to handle a swarm of Zerglings. You can see the number of kills on those Thors. Thor's getting, what, 9 kills and an amazing 28. So that Thor definitely worth its minerals so far. And now we see a medevac picking up and perhaps trying to do a drop. I'm not sure if the... No, stim pack has been researched. However, no combat shield. 1 SCV trying to make its way out of the base will not be able to. And now a medevac in the air, perhaps trying to push out. Once again, we do have Marines on this low ground. Another bunker trying to be placed down as well. Will it be enough in order to hold off this another swarm of Zerglings? Marines over here, and now those Zerglings simply trying to swarm away. Banelings simply taking down more and more of those Marines, and now those Thors will get taken down, finished off and picked apart by those Zerglings. Banelings once again coming in. Will they be able to splash again and take down more and more units? Zerglings now running in. Banelings trying to run into this SCV line, and all these SCVs may get taken down. No, these Banelings instead going over here, and will they be able to splash and self-detonate is the key question. Detonating, killing so many SCVs. Brilliantly done by Slush. And Slush doing a great job using mass Zerglings in order to deal with the sheer number of Marines and Thor so far. So Fenix not going for any Marine Marauder play, just going for standard Marines and Thors at this stage in the game. However, it does not seem to be working. Zerglings now running into a straight single file line. Perhaps stim pack should be used on those Marines. You do not need to unload it. You can use stim pack through the bunker. However, all those Marines will now try to finish off the rest of those Zerglings. 1 siege tank now moving out as well. We also have 1 Raven in the air, but that Raven is really not doing all too much. Able to drop point defense drones, and that is about it. Siege tank dropped back onto the ground production-wise. We are now getting the siege tech, more Marines, SCVs, and another bunker in play. Perhaps trying to get the bunker armor would actually be a very, very smart choice at this time, or even the Thor armor upgrade. The Thor armor upgrade would reduce the amount of damage dealt by these Zerglings significantly from 4 down to 3. So that would be a 25% damage reduction. A Thor now trying to continue to push and able to hold off more of those Zerglings. The bunkers were taken down. However, the Thor able to rack up some kills there. Once again, 1 auto turret and another bunker trying to be placed down in such a way to offer protection and make sure that it does not get easily surrounded. And Slush needs to really change up his strategy. If he does not change up his strategy, he will eventually find himself that Fenix is able to build the proper counter units and able to continue to macro up a stronger and stronger economy. You can see that he's sitting behind at 27 harvesters. However, he is using mules in order to try to get back into this game. And now using these mules, as long as he's able to save these scanner sweeps, he will be able to perhaps try to do something. Fenix now moving out with this medevac. Will this medevac come into play, drop down, and deal more damage once again? Extractor newly fresh and up. There is an Overlord here, however, does not see this drop. No combat shield on these Marines. Marines now stimming, moving out, and going after some of these Zerglings, trying to make sure that they're a little bit more protected, trying to pick up into that 1 medevac. Medevac now with 6 Marines, able to pull back once again. Zerglings very, very well protected as another Spire coming into position. So Slush finally transitioning, trying to get additional Mutalisks once again to dominate the air. We have the level 1 Carapace upgrades in addition to 3 Overlords, as Slush is currently supply locked at 78 over 78 food. Siege tanks now on the low ground. Marines over here just trying to offer a little bit of protection. And now we see Slush going for these gold minerals at the 7 o'clock location. So if Slush is able to saturate this 1 group of gold minerals here, he will be able to get a strong economy. However, another drop coming straight in the base. Banelings, however, will be able to pick and be able to just shoo them away. Fenix doing another hot pick up there, saving a lot of his Marines. And will another drop come into play is the key question. And he may try to drop into this location. However, there is 1 Spore Crawler here and another Spore Crawler here. So if he does try to drop, he may end up taking a lot of damage, as there also is 1 Queen in this location as well. So Zerglings still running out across the map. In comes a new Queen. A Queen now trying to fight back. 1 Queen will not get taken down to 6 hit points. And now that medevac may even get taken down. No, that Queen off of creep. And now that medevac able to just barely fly away. A transfusion healing up both of these Queens once again. Zerglings now coming in and perhaps going to do a drop onto this high ground in order to... in order to get some protection over here on this door, trying to take down this hatchery. Stay tuned for part 2 of this replay between Fenix and Slush here on Scrap Station.